What's up, Workforce? Chris here with Work to Game. We're just going to do a quick community feedback this afternoon, and we are going to be talking about 4.3 Live Letter. Now, we've only gotten part 1, so the hype train really hasn't gotten out of hand yet. We got our date. We know that there's going to be another part. They're going to have some things to elaborate on. If you haven't seen that first video, it is in the description below. But I just wanted to talk about, 3 of the comments that I saw and just kind of continue that conversation with you guys here. So let's get started. Now, first up is Josh Bennett, and this got a ton of replies. Meh. Still not enough to make me come back. And that is one of the interesting things about Stormblood, is that they have taken a few risks here and there, and I feel that it is the most engaging world they've had. They've taken, bigger changes to the way we do 4-man dungeons than before. You see different mechanics being introduced. I've really enjoyed the pacing of Stormblood in a lot of ways, but there's been other just huge swings and misses depending on who you're talking to. Eureka, for me, for example, was a miss, but I know there's people that absolutely love it. And so, when you take these big risks, if you don't take the risks, we get bored, we quit. But if you do take the risks, there's always a risk that you're going to swing and you're just going to miss altogether with at least part, if not your entire player base. So when that happens, say 4.2 and 4.25 really didn't do much for you, 4.3, in my opinion, outside of, obviously we expected Deep Dungeon to get another half at some point, middle of the 4.0 series. This is about right. We expected to get a dungeon. We expected to get a trial. We expected, a lot of these things. The companion app has been promised for a long time, so as exciting as it is, it's not really surprising. So, crossword link shells, these quality of life things, we've been requesting them for a long time. So 4.3, in my mind, is not a horribly surprising patch. Now, that's not a bad thing. Square Enix has done a very good job of delivering huge amounts of content at a very consistent pace, to the point where we consider that whole list of what 4.3 includes to be average. So I think Josh is just, that's hitting on a common theme of what is it that takes you coming back? What is it that you're tuning into these patch notes hoping for? What is it that you think is still missing? Because if you're just waiting for them to wow and surprise you, you run the risk of another Eureka, where there's this huge divide in the population, and some people absolutely love it, and some people absolutely could skip it and just never see it again and be fine with that. So I think that I hope you come back, and I hope they give you a reason to. I think that there's an interesting lack of a feedback mechanism from the people that leave. So I don't know if there's a way on the forums that we could just get the people who are quitting to leave their feedback so that they can kind of take that into consideration, because we don't want people to leave the game. When people stick around and they enjoy the game, they support the game with their subscription, and when they support the game with their subscription, we get more funding for a better and longer lasting game moving forward. So it's in all of our best interest that as wide of a group of players can enjoy the content as possible. You don't like PvP, that's fine. Doesn't mean PvP can't be great for the people who love it. So thank you, Josh. Ram Storm Rage, our second comment regarding the retainer. It seems to imply that the retainer cap is increased by 1, allowing you to buy 1 more retainer and not included in the premium app. I read and heard this kind of both ways, and so I assumed that for the cost of $5, based on the limited number of features that you're getting with that paid, that you're getting a retainer, but I very well could be wrong. So if that is just increasing your ability to purchase 1 more, I don't know why somebody is already buying their way up to 9 and then going, if only there was a way to pay $5 to get a slot so that I could pay more dollars to fill the slot. So I really hope that if that is what some of it is reading, that is just a mistranslation, and I'd love to see that clarified in part 2. And Callan Darkclaw with our last and final comment. This looks to be a good patch with lots of playable content. That is what we've come to expect from Square Enix. I know we are only getting 1 new dungeon, which they warned us about at the beginning of Stormblood, the dungeon pacing. But with all the other stuff, it looks promising. I really like how they are keeping pieces of it secret. I thought this was a really clever idea to kind of keep us excited, so we don't kind of play out all the excitement in our head before patch day. It will keep people from setting specific expectation, and I am excited to see what the next part of Eureka will bring based on the feedback they got from the first part. Absolutely. I hope that this is not just a new set of levels tossed over a new set of notorious monsters. I hope there's actually feature changes and the way it plays out is a little different. Maybe a system where when you go into that kind of finder, it helps try to find people that are at a similar level, or maybe they increase the number in the zone, or or I don't know. There's a lot they could do with the way Party Finder integrates with it, and I think that the next set of Eureka would be a great time to do that. Jenga looks promising for content, and I am really happy to see what the new raid has to offer. Really, really excited. The new Deep Dungeon is exciting. If you have any jobs that have been stuck at, especially DPS jobs, that have been stuck at that 60 and you just haven't had a reason to push them up to 70, maybe this is something you can really engage with and at least get a few of them pushed all the way to 70 before it kind of tires out for you. So I would love to see this be a step in a direction where there is going to be a new Deep Dungeon every series, and there's going to be a reason to want to play all of them, and this isn't just so different and so much better that it makes the old one crap, but at the same time, maybe that's what it needs. I don't know what I expect. I don't know what you guys expect. Definitely let us know in the comments below what you guys are expecting from 4.3. It's been out, you know, the patch notes from part 1 has been live long enough that everybody's kind of had a chance to parse this over in their head. You're seeing people kind of begin, you know, either taking breaks if this is when they take breaks, or leveling alts when this is when they level alts. I see a lot of groups, and I've been watching a lot of streams where people are getting to clear those raids that they had really struggled to clear because the gear is out there now. It's been long enough, if you've been capping your mendacity regularly enough, that you should be able to kind of push through that without necessarily feeling you have to have this super structured, organized static. You can try and just get a group that's in voice chat, that's all is decently geared, that's a decent set of people who, as far as they know their class and they know how to raid, and they should be able to just kind of push through that. So it's nice to watch them getting to do that content. I personally didn't engage with a lot of raid content this patch, but hopefully 4.3 is a time that me and Brian can kind of look at doing that. Definitely let us know. Continue this conversation and let us know what kind of community feedback you'd like to see moving forward. This week was kind of light because we didn't do a whole lot of posts last week, so I didn't have a whole lot to choose from as far as conversations you guys are having. But as we get back into the swing of things and we get back into the swing of posting more often, hopefully we can have some topics that you guys have obviously found exciting and we can talk about those here. Wednesday is that target. It is that goal to get community feedback and continue that conversation right here on Work to Game. This has been Chris. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I will see you next time.
Hey, Chris, your shirt's pretty looking.
You know, honestly, it doesn't have Work to Game anywhere on it, but I like to support the channel.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, you can do that and also have a good looking shirt.
I don't really want that shirt. You think maybe it could be a different shirt? Well, cool. I think I'm going to click on one of the links somewhere around here, and I'm going to go see what we got.
Hello. It's really, really, really good.
You guys have a great day.
Take care.
You probably have a pretty shirt on.